Hi, I'm Nadia Dunn, CCL TV, are delighted to be here at the Freight Summit in Dubai. And joining me today is Reynir from the IFS Group. Reynir, thanks so much for being here. How are you doing?
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you.
How's COVID affected IFS Group?
Well, so COVID comes around, and it was quite a challenge in the sense that we have big offices, 2 offices, and we had to move everybody to home. And doing that, we had to invest a lot into VPN infrastructure, working online. And so far, we have managed that exceptionally well. We keep our people, we keep our business. And actually, the first 6 months of this year are our best 6 months in 21 years. So. We have really focused on managing our costs, to managing our relationships, and to manage the client relationship. That has been our biggest focus,
Yeah. And what's it like being back at a conference? People haven't seen each other for nearly 2 years.
That's an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
For myself, I've been home for 2 years. Working online. And Peru has been incredibly badly hit by COVID. It has the highest death rate per capita in the world, 150,000 people dead from COVID. That has been incredibly challenging. So coming to a conference like this, that is after 2.5 years for me, to see the people physically instead of being in this virtual networking meetings, there is no comparison, and the feeling, talking to the people, understanding how they were affected by COVID and their challenges, what is the lesson learned from that, and so I'm really happy to be back.
Yeah. You can really feel the excitement, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's enormous. It's almost euphoria, It's a very euphoric event,
it is.
Especially at night, when everybody go out together. It's just, there's no way to describe that.
There is. It's a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
And have you noticed any new trends due to COVID? Any new technology?
What's really happening in the logistic industry and the impact of COVID to logistic industry, it's illy understood by logistic people or the general society, and especially governments, is that when you move the global workforce online for 2 years, that transition from physical work to online work creates an incredible vacuum of labor. We are seeing that with petrol deliveries in UK, that truck drivers, the shortage of truck drivers to deliver the goods, that's not only just petrol. I mean, I look at the media today, and the focus of the media is really not on the main issue.
Yes,
the main issue is that our supply chain is not able to handle transition of labor out of our market. At the same time, everybody at home buying new sofas and buying new TVs and becoming a consumer on steroids. And there is a deluge of cargo coming in from Asia, from India, Pakistan, China, that our ship systems are just not capable of handling that. And so what happens with that is that the supply chain that is not able to handle the cargo, that increases the shipping cost of goods. And it creates desperation amongst traders, retailers. They are not getting the goods on time, and instead of paying $2,000 a container from China to Europe or to Peru or to US, it's $15,000 to $20,000 today. It doesn't end there. The cost of shipping it, from China to US, for example, that's not the big story. The big story is that the port can't handle it. The truckers can't handle it. The warehouses are full, they can't handle it. And what happens then is that the goods create detention cost. That is thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So the combined cost is ultimately all rolled over to consumers. And we as freight forwarders take, it's very stressful for us because we are hunting for space. We are pushing the carriers to load the shipments. Our customers are pushing us, we are pushing, and our workforce is under enormous stress, coping with the situation. And the problem that I see is that there could be a general collapse of the entire supply chain. It can collapse to the point where consumers get turned off. That means that you have a significant reduction in order flow. That means that all the shipping lines, everything is trying to scale up to a mountain that will fall off.
Yeah.
And that consequence can have dire significant economic consequences as far as I see it. So this is not only to containers. I mean, we see it in fuel deliveries. We are seeing it in bulk deliveries. We are seeing it in product tanker deliveries, in mineral deliveries. I'm just seeing this collapse throughout the supply chain.
Well, let's hope that it doesn't get to that.
We are going to see consequences. How significant they are depends on how the supply chain scales to it,
and how they react.
Yeah, and how much they can react to it.
Exactly, yeah. And finally, what are your thoughts about CCL TV being here at the conference?
Well, I think it's great. I think you putting your attention on freight forwarding is incredibly important. We are an industry with probably a turnover of $1 trillion combined. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of people are working freight forwarding. It's a significant industry and significantly important, but I like to point out to you that consolidation in the container shipping industry, where we used to have 24 container carriers on a global scale, and now we have 7. This creates anti-competitive environment, and I'm a little worried about the consequences of that. And that industry of 7 global carriers is making probably collectively this year over $100 billion in profit. And their ambition really is to do door-to-door logistics, become like Amazon or Alibaba of the industry. So we are a big industry, important industry, but at the same time, we are under a lot of pressure, comparative pressure from service provider that we use every day. And I think that is so good to be here in this conference to talk to my colleagues, to get their feeling, what is their sense on what's their direction, what's their, are they worried about what's happening tomorrow? And I think it's great that you're here. You hear my voice, you hear other voices, and you are bringing attention to us. That I'm very happy for that.
Well, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for making time to come and see us, and we'll see you at the next conference.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.